This is Momxiety with Sav Social, and I'm your host, Samantha. Let's get right into it before the baby wakes up. No, but seriously, his naps lately have been super short, hence why I haven't had time to record this week's episode, and I'm just giving myself a little bit of grace because I do not want to give up on this project. I am totally invested in it, and I have so many topics I want to go over with you guys, and I do not want to let you down to my one follower. But I'm sorry, the baby just woke up. Let me just go get him. Okay, you see what I'm saying? We had a 10-minute nap, maybe a little bit longer. If anybody has any recommendations, please drop them below. I am really considering trying the Dreamland Baby weighted blanket. I'm sorry, weighted sleep sack. I heard really good things about them. I do have the pajamas, love it, but I gotta do something because we can't be taking these 10-minute naps. Guess it's a power nap. And that leads me into my first topic today. I'm really excited about it. I wanted to talk a little bit about balancing mom life, a business, a home, and marriage. I think it's so important to acknowledge all of these different roles or stages that you may be at. And I am currently trying to figure out where exactly my attention needs to be. And I feel like sometimes we have so many priorities that we get a little bit lost in the sauce. There's only so many hours in the day, and one thing that I struggle with is asking for help. I don't know about you, but I feel like as moms, we have everything on us. I'm not saying that we don't have anyone around us that's asking to help us. I'm saying it's very hard for us to accept it and realize that it's okay. And if you do not do this, I feel like you become emotionally and physically tired. I realize that if you are not filling up your own cup, it is very hard to fill others. Just think about it like this: when you're so exhausted and you try to do something, you're not going to do it at the best of your ability, and you might start doing things differently in a way that doesn't represent you. For example, when you have a really bad headache and you go to do something and you feel like you're lashing out at someone, but that's really not what you feel in your heart, but you don't know what the underlying issue is, and you realize it's just the headache that's causing you to act like this. I feel like when you have that underlying issue of being exhausted and mentally and emotionally, I feel like if you don't take the time to rest and ask for help, it will just continue to ruin your day and just trickle down into other things that really have nothing to do with the situation. And I'm not saying this because I have it figured out. I'm saying this because it's something that I really truly want to practice and will continue to work on, because I know, in fact, it's like trying to lose weight. We all know what we're supposed to do, but it's just to do it is you have to, go over that hump. And that's something that I really truly believe in, that sometimes you just need a break. And I know in the beginning, when I had the baby, I was so worried about asking for help because I knew this was my decision to have a baby. And that sounds super extreme, but this was my responsibility and my husband's, of course, that we felt like we had to have the weight on us. And although partially this is true, we will have the weight on us. A baby is a very big responsibility, and we 100% understand that. But I do think it is good to get help and just to take the rest that you can. The majority of the time when the baby's sleeping, I'm doing something else. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but when I sit down, for some reason I have this mom guilt that I have a million other projects that I want to do. And in that moment of him sleeping, I need to take that time and use it wisely. Nobody is putting any deadlines on me. Nobody is telling me you have to have the house clean, you have to have dinner cooked. My husband can care less. He just wants me to be happy. This is completely something that I've pushed on myself. And again, I just want to use this as a reminder to you to take the time for yourself when you can. Another thing is, when I first had the baby and a few months later, I was invited to girls' nights and I did turn them down. I didn't know, first off, I wanted to be with the baby. And another thing is, I didn't know when it was appropriate to take that time for myself. And honestly, I will never judge a mom for taking that time and going out with the girls. It is something that whenever you feel comfortable doing, and it took me a few months, and it still takes me time. When I go out, I have a very hard time letting go. And I guess just as a mom, that's something that you'll never not feel. And I'm even talking when I go to the grocery store, I feel like I have separation anxiety. But again, this is all a learning experience, and I know I'm not the only mom that may feel this way. And I wanted to do a little story time about when my husband and I came home from the hospital with the baby. And at this point, I was feeling pretty good. Well, at least I thought I was. We invited our family over, and I guess my body was in like a fight or flight mode. And I was on such a high from just giving birth and staying up 24 hours after, pretty much once I delivered the baby, because there was nurses in and out, there was lactation specialists. So I felt like I was in a dream, to be honest. And I just remember after my family came over, I was just sitting around, and I guess it hit me all at once. And I remember I pulled my husband aside and I just started crying. I didn't realize how emotional I was feeling. I'm a very emotional person to begin with, but after I had the baby, I guess my body started to realize there wasn't a baby inside anymore. And I felt so sad. And I didn't understand why I was feeling that way. Of course, I was so happy that the baby was here. This is all I wanted. But I was feeling so down, and I guess because my hormones were fluctuating so much, it all hit me at once, and I had asked my family to come back later. And my point here is to show that back then, I felt like it was so important to take the time to bond with your baby. And 9 months later, I still feel the same way. And it's okay. You are going to heal on your own time. And life goes so fast. And he has hit so many milestones already. I cannot even believe how quickly things have changed. But my bond with him will forever be the same. And my perspective on asking for help has evolved. And that's one of the points that I really strongly wanted to stress today, because I feel like when you're trying to balance everything at once, you have to give yourself time to heal and reset. Not only do I think it's important to be aware of your feelings, but also your partner's. I get it, there's a lot going on. Taking care of a baby is a full time job, but I feel like it's always important to talk with your partner. Plan date nights, whether it's just dinner and a movie in the house or actually going out. I feel like that's super important. And sometimes we get stuck in a routine and we forget that we're still young. So, this is me encouraging you to plan that date night, plan the girls' night, take the baby out, get some fresh air, and just do whatever makes you happy. Now, let's get into some nap time tea. Our first topic is making solids versus buying store-bought food. So, my opinion varies on this. I think making food at home is always a good option because you know exactly what's going into it. However, when I'm traveling or I have a full day planned, I definitely will be bringing a lunchbox cooler that I refrigerate the pouches. So far, our favorite has been Once Upon a Farm. Hold on one second. My son has found a stick that's holding the back door to be closed, and he's okay. Just give me a minute. So I don't know if anyone told you, but from 7 to 9 months, he has gone through a destructive phase where Everything needs to be thrown, hence all of the noise in the background. I've been recording this podcast for 2 days, by the way. It's broken up because I'm doing my best here just to get this out. But I definitely lean more toward cooking his food. If I do have to buy it, I specifically get something that's refrigerated already at the store. One time I was talking to a girlfriend about what products she uses for her baby, and she said something so simple to me, and it really stuck with me. If something is sitting on a shelf for that long, they have to have preservatives in it. And ever since then, I really try to stick with products that are organic, clean label, refrigerated. And I feel like a lot of people make jokes about the type of food that we feed babies these days, but I feel like food is just not made the same. And even my doctor will tell me to be careful what we're buying for the baby because a lot of things that are still on the shelves have gotten recalled, and it's really a scary thing. So just keep that in mind. I'm not, going to get into all of that, but it's just important to know exactly what you're putting in your body. The second topic for nap time tea is telling your child no. I guess what I mean is overusing the word no. Obviously, I use the word no when he's doing something wrong, whether he understands yet or not. I think when you're constantly saying that, it becomes like any other word and they do not care. The meaning gets lost, but I do think it's a good way to start creating boundaries and having them understand what's right and what's wrong, especially for their safety. And the third topic, which I feel like goes both ways, and I don't even know where I stand with this, but posting your child to social media. Unfortunately, we have a very scary world, and you think of the worst because we're exposed to so much, but I feel like it's also supposed to be a fun and lighthearted thing, and that's why me personally, I post my child. I know in the beginning I was a little weird about it and I didn't want anybody posting, but I slowly changed my opinion on that. And again, I see both sides because I believe both sides. But let me know in the comments what you think about this and if you post your child and exactly how you feel. And next, we're going to get into the icks of the day. I have two today for you. All right, so the first one is when people say, "Is the dad babysitting?" It never happened to me yet because I don't leave the baby. But I don't know. I feel like I've heard this before and I think it's kind of funny because, like, he has the same responsibility as me. I know, like, some people say the mom is the main caretaker, which, like, I get it, but the dad isn't babysitting. He wanted this just as much as me. And then the second ick is being a stay at home mom is easy or is not a job. And I definitely do not agree with this. It is a job. Every day is completely different and a learning experience. And I feel like you could just tell in my voice that this annoys the crap out of me. No, I definitely have heard this before and I do not cosign. But the haters will hate. But just to wrap it up, I just want you to remember to take care of yourself. Thank you for listening to another episode of Momxiety. I will talk to you next time. See ya.